Hello and welcome to Crafting Revolution, the podcast. My name is Katie Freeman. I'm co-host, and every week we bring you interviews with makers and artists of all kinds from all over the world who identify as female, non-binary, or transgender. Today's guest is Daej Hamilton of Daej Designs. Daej knew from a young age that she wanted to make things. After watching her mom study interior design, Daej was completely intrigued by furniture. From the grain on tabletops to how a chair can be the center of attention in any room, she was mesmerized. She started woodworking in the 6th grade, then continued her education in woodworking throughout the rest of middle school and all 4 years of high school. Daej's first year of post-secondary education began at Sheridan College in their craft and design furniture program. She later went to Humber College to immerse herself in their Industrial Woodworking Program. In December 2016, Daej graduated and received a diploma as an Industrial Woodworking Technician. Not having any examples of furniture makers or designers that looked like her put her in a position to be that example for others. Daej finds that a lot of the time people need to be shown that their goals and aspirations are valid. They need to know that they can succeed in a field that may not look like it's for them. With that being said, her goal is to inspire. And it was a joy getting to talk with Daej again, because I had Daej on in a previous episode almost 3 years ago. So it was fun to get to catch up with her. I've been watching her on social media and seeing all of the amazing things she has been up to. So fun to get to do that, catch up, and learn more about what she has coming up in the future. Plus, we got to talk about power carving, which is always one of my favorites. Before heading into the conversation with Daej, I want to give a reminder that I would love it if you all would go to podcastawards.com and nominate the podcast under the category of art. And you can also nominate us under the category of People's Choice Award. So would love both of those nominations / votes, but really would love it under art predominantly, and that's podcastawards.com. So you can hit the pause button right now and just do it right there from your phone. It is going to ask you to sign up, and that's just basically like your name and your email address, and then you can vote. So would be really amazing for the podcast that is now going on in October. We will be in our 4th year. We'll have completed our 4th year and starting our 5th year. So it would be amazing to win this award, especially since it's all done voting from the people who listen to podcasts. So while you're there nominating Crafting a Revolution under the category of art, you can also see who the other podcasts are under all the categories and maybe find another one of the podcasts that you listen to that you may want to nominate or vote for. I would also like to give a special shout out and thanks to the patrons over on Patreon. So thank you so much, Matthew from Artigiano Serio, for being our main podcast sponsor. Thank you also to Candace, CJ Woodgrain, Lee at Lee Runyon, Annette 513 Woodworks, Katie Thompson, Women of Woodworking, Kevin, Lefty's Woodshop, Christy, Twisted Twine, Jeremy Speece, Sammy, Go Sammy Lee, Rachel, Moody Makes, Laura, Oakley Soap Company, Brandy, Studio Bay, Ellen, Little Bear Furniture, and Ethan Carter Designs. Thank you all so much for your ongoing support of the podcast. All right, let's head into the conversation with Daej. Well, in case there's people that didn't listen to your first episode, I want to give you a chance again to introduce yourself, if you would do that for me.
Yes. Hey, everyone. My name is Daej Hamilton. I'm a furniture maker and designer based in Toronto, Canada.
Awesome. And last we chatted, it was like very new into like launching Daej Designs, right? Like it wasn't, it was like super new. And you were just getting into like power carving and that kind of world. And now what are you up to? Like what's all the things that are going on in your universe right now?
Oh, Yeah, so it's been 3 years, and Daej Designs has just turned 3 in April. And I've launched a collection of furniture, which I think we chatted about briefly in the
Yeah,
first
you were
episode
kind
that
of
I,
getting started with like doing some sketches and that kind of stuff, I think, when we
yeah,
talked
and
last.
so
Yeah.
I actually launched it in January. Very proud moment for myself. Something I've been working on for so long, and just being able to have the opportunity to showcase it for Design TO, which is like one of the biggest design festivals in Toronto, in Ontario. Um, and just having like people from everywhere just come and, look at the pieces and tell me how cool they were. It was like just it really just made my, I don't know, like, it was like,
It's
ooh,
like,
like
I know, yeah, give you a little bit of a feel good high from, yeah, all
yeah.
that hard work. Yeah. How did you get into that show? Is it like open to like anyone who pays the fee can come, or is there like a whole application type thing?
So I was scouted.
Okay.
This gallery, Band Gallery, which is one of the only Black galleries in Toronto, had asked me if I wanted to showcase some work. And I was like, you know what? Now is a good time to do that. Like, I feel like if I don't take this opportunity, I don't know when I will be able to find the time to kind of do this and launch. So I just went for it. And it was great. I love that gallery. They're amazing. They were so helpful. I didn't have to pay anything. So
Nice. Nice.
yeah, it was cool. It was cool that they wanted to kind of represent because I found that I guess being in a gallery kind of changed my outlook on how furniture is viewed in the world, where usually pieces in a gallery are normally on a wall.
Right.
And so having functional furniture in a gallery and watching people come and not wanting to touch it because of gallery rules. And I'm
Right.
like, hey, like, if this is going to be in your house, you're going to touch it, right? So,
Right. Yeah.
like, go ahead, go for it. And watching people kind of like, I don't know, shed that like that fear of,
Mm-hmm.
not wanting to touch and then finally going ahead and touching it, sitting on the pieces. I had someone drop one of my pieces. I'm like, look, it's okay because that's what's gonna happen in your house. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's totally fine. But yeah, it was cool to see. It was really cool to see how people were interacting with it.
Yeah. Were you before this opportunity, like had you been showing your work at that gallery, or like this was just kind of like total, like, I don't know, out of the, I don't want to say out of the blue maybe, but like just like not something you were expecting maybe.
And I was at that gallery briefly, a part of my friend's show in 2018, like January 2018.
Okay.
And I wasn't necessarily expecting them to reach out and be like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
like, we want you to come back.
Mm-hmm.
That was so far out of my mind.
Right.
Um, and so the fact that from 2018 they recognized my work
Mm-hmm.
it felt good. It felt really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what was that experience like, just being like scouted? Because I feel like, okay, if that and then I guess that did happen technically to me too. I was just thinking about that. I'm like, oh, I guess I did have a gallery like reach out to me for stuff too. But like,
Yeah.
it's kind of, I don't know. At least for me, it was like, oh, somebody's actually like paying attention to like what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
making.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm visible. Like,
Yeah.
I'm here. Okay. You want my work in?
Right.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Of course you do. Yeah. um, and it just felt like like my work being in a gallery opened up so many doors for other
Mhm.
people, like unknowingly, because you don't see furniture in galleries or like people asking for furniture to be in a gallery unless it's like super antique, like from
Mhm. Yeah.
1800s,
Yeah.
1700s, but like something from a Black designer too, for that to
Mhm.
be, it just I was mind blown, honestly, just after like putting everything up in the gallery and just taking a step back
Hmm.
and looking at it and like, wow, like I did it. Like I really did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think. I think we have a couple. Like we have one center for art in wood, which is
Mhm.
in, I think, I want to say Philadelphia. I hope I'm not messing that up. I know it's in the state of Philadelphia,
Yeah.
um, or in the area of Philadelphia. But that's the only place I can think off the top of my head in the U.S. where it's like prominent. Like you would expect to see probably furniture there because it's wood art. And then there's a place in North Carolina that's all chairs. But to your point, like it's antique chairs, and
Hmm.
so it's not like new pieces. Do you think then by doing this show, like do you have your eyes set on, or do you think it's in your future to get to the, I always mess up, is it ICFF or IFCC or
No,
one of those?
ICFF, yeah.
Okay.
In New York, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Eventually,
yeah.
eventually. Um, I know that like I want to say like the temperature of furniture making here in Toronto is very like either you're in or you're not in. So
Yeah.
like I'm definitely like pacing myself and
Hmm.
wanting to come out with something super cool. So um I don't know, I get some recognition for it. I don't want, basic stuff. I
Yeah,
want it to be
yeah,
like super awesome.
yeah. No, I get it. How do you do that for yourself? Like, how do you feel like you're differentiating? I mean, I think that's every designer probably at least has that in the back of their mind of like, how do I stand out from like the rest of the furniture type thing going on in the world right now?
I feel like my furniture is very much a mixture of like mid-century modern and Toronto's very minimalist design styles. But in my collection, I actually was able to incorporate power carving, which is something that I have not seen,
Hmm.
especially in the city. And so I feel like that might have been why a lot of people gravitated to it and were very like in shock or very
Hmm.
amazed by like how I was incorporating this skill with an angle grinder and
Hmm.
kind of like using it to make functional pieces, just like how you are with your
Hmm.
stools and stuff like that. Um, but I did it in a way where I was complementing all of the different design inspiration that I had.
Hmm.
And so I feel like I'm standing out that way.
Hmm.
Hopefully, I think so.
Yeah, yeah. I think I know we talked about in your first interview, like you talked about mid-century modern then and wanting to bring in elements of like African design, um, or Black design, like kind of bringing some of those elements in. And I honestly feel like just from the more I've researched the history of like carving in general, like that is the history. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it started in Africa,
Yeah,
from thousands of years ago. So it's kind of cool. I think like that probably does bring in some of that design element. Uh,
yeah, it does.
yeah.
It does. I feel like sometimes I even forget that like a lot of these techniques that we use nowadays are from African
Hmm.
history and from African design and whatnot. And so when people are like, I want to do African design, it's like you are doing African design because
Right.
that's where it started.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
everyone, I mean, I honestly, I know people don't know that, uh, unfortunately, because of all the appropriation that happened, between the continents. We'll say,
Hmm.
like, it just didn't happen. Other people claimed it. I
Yeah.
mean, I remember even finding, like, I'm going through like National Archive type stuff when I'm researching, like, kind of the origin of carving and some of the early, I wanted to find like some of the earliest representations of it, and even earliest representation of like carved chair designs. That's really what I was kind of going after. And I found it, it goes back to royalty in Africa tribes. That's where it really comes from, like the ornate chairs and stools that were made for royalty to sit upon. But then even within that, like hundreds of years later, I find like articles of basically the Catholic Church saying like, no, we created this. Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah, like, no, you didn't. But okay. So I mean, yeah, it's like I'll find out, because I'm about to start my master's program for Masters of Fine Arts, and so a lot of that will be like, well, not a ton, but there will be a good portion that will be art history, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, I think I'm gonna be an ornery participant, because I feel like I want to just like challenge every time that they tell me that it's like some white dude from Europe that created this thing. I want to just be like, are you sure? Like, have you done your research? Like,
do it, Katie, do it. Challenge them. I feel like a lot of the times in school too, like they teach what they want us to hear and not what's actually the truth. So if someone doesn't challenge them, they're just going to keep running with this narrative.
Yeah, you'll see me flunking out of art history. Good thing that's not going to be my master's. But I mean, because I guess as some, obviously, clearly, I'm not Black, but it's like I don't know, I want to get it back to like, no, I want to know the real history of this thing, because especially like to your point, like the techniques we use when we're working, like I want to credit it. Like I want to say like, no, this goes back, this is where it goes back to, not, what we've been told it goes back to. Yeah. So I think it's great that you're doing the power carving, and I still always love your Africa continent that you carved. Yeah, that's like one of my favorites.
I'm trying to come out with Jamaica this summer. We're gonna see, and that's it for the countries. That's it. That's it for worldwide, international. That's all I'm doing. There's Africa. You have like 100 countries there, and just Jamaica, my island. That's it. I have people asking me to do Italy. I'm like, I'm not. No.
No, I get that. Did you sell that piece, or is that yours to keep, the Africa?
So I decided to do a collection of 8. Still have about 3 more to make.
Okay.
And the last one I'll be keeping. Okay. But yeah, it was getting out of hand. People wanted it like different sizes. So I'm like, no, listen, it's one size with the Madagascar. Okay. That's it.
Yep.
One color. Okay. We're not engraving your kid's name into it. Like I'm not. Yeah. And it's interesting because people will ask me to like do all sorts of extra stuff with it, and I'll tell them no, and they're like, okay, well, I'll just buy it as is. I'm like, okay, great.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So knowing how power carving is, like, is each one of those like its own unique piece?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all completely different. Like all of the waves are all different. And so sometimes people, I had this person who bought a piece from me. And then I came out with like, I had another one. They're like, wait, why aren't they the same? I'm like, because each one is unique. This one is for you. That one is for them. It's okay.
Right.
No one else's looks like yours. So
it's like, because it's art, and because it's handmade, and because I'm not like Ethan Allen with like I'm entire force to like
literally it's no template.
Nope. But it's all out of African mahogany, right?
Yeah, sapele. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And it smells so
Okay.
good.
Well,
Does.
I've never carved it. I've only ever tried to work with it for like making what I call it more, traditional furniture pieces where it's like
Mm,
right angles and, where
mhm.
things have to fit together perfectly. Um, which I don't enjoy as much anymore. I like my power carving world. But
Yeah.
but anyways, I've used it for trying to do that and I was not a fan of it. Then I had lots of like twisting issues and stuff like that. And it
Mm.
probably was just the tree that batch came from, but still I was like it kind of gave me PTSD. So I still
Oh.
have like I have like one little like slab of it left and it's like years old now. Every time I look at it and think, well, maybe I'm like, no, I can't do it.
Oh, no, I haven't come across that issue with sapele.
Yeah.
Fortunately, it's been good to me. So.
I was trying to make like I was doing cabinet furniture, and so I was trying to make the posts,
Yeah.
and like 2 inch by 2 inch posts from it, and like it took forever. I finally got it square, got my 2 inch by 2 inch post, and I like come back to the shop the next day, and it's like seriously, like
Wow.
legitimately, totally twisted. I was like, so I actually got it down to like 1.5 by 1.5. Then I was like, okay, I can make this work. I can do it. I can do it. And like I come back the next day and it's twisted again. I was like, no, no, I
Oh
am
my
done.
gosh.
I gave all of my stash except for that one slab to like a turner because I'm like, you don't care if it twists, you take it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. We move. We don't need to work with that again. You're
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
It's fine.
It's fine. Exactly. Okay, so I do also know just by following your social that you also, I believe you got like an award recently, right? Or like were recognized as like a designer to watch type thing. Is that correct?
Oh, there's been like a couple of very like I got what? I was recognized by HGTV Canada. That was cool.
Yes.
That was funny though. I had to like someone had called me and I listened to the voicemail and then I called back and it was like I don't know, like the company that owns the network that owns like HGTV and all these other programs. And
All
I'm
these
like,
other,
listen, I need
right,
to speak to so and so. Like,
right,
and they're like,
right.
yeah, we can't give you that information. I'm like, no, they called
Called.
me. Like, that was wild.
Yeah.
And then there was the Black Designers of Canada, which was like their first time giving out like an award to
Hmm.
designers in Canada, which was like super cool.
Hmm.
Wasn't expecting that. Um, and then there was LGBTQ Youth of the Year, which was another amazing one. That one I was holding my word like,
Yes.
yeah, you're
Yeah.
speaking to the LGBTQ Youth of the Year, okay?
Yeah.
Like no, that was a fun one. That was
Does that make you like queen queer or something like that? Like, does that, I mean, I feel like that should
nobody
come
knows
with
me.
like a sash or like, yeah.
No, it was funny because they wanted me to be on the board for like choosing like another.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like I'm no,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay. But that was a fun one. That was a really fun one. um yeah, it was like a Facebook live event. Like it was very funny. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That all seems like, I don't, surreal. Did it feel
It
surreal?
was. It was because again, like just with like even being scouted for the gallery, it felt like
Mm-hmm.
wow, people are actually like they can actually find me on Google
Right.
and say, hey, like
Right.
we like what you're doing. We want to award you. It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's still very weird. Like even like the awards are in my room and I look at them like that's strange. But it's it's being the representation I didn't have. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think a lot of us, like woodworker maker types too, like we spend most of our days working alone. Like,
Yes.
I mean, yes, we like maybe post something to social media if we remember to, but
Right.
like, but other
Yep.
than that, like, we're not really like, I guess, at least to personally, sometimes I feel like not part of the world like that's going around me because I just get lost in the work and that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I said it to me, it would seem to feel surreal, like, because sometimes you just feel like this solitary thing on the floating rock in the sky.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
I do woodworking because I'm passionate about it and
Right.
I just love to make things, not thinking someone is going to be like, "Hey, here's
Right.
something for all your hard work." Like, dude, my hard work is in the work. Like that's,
Right. That's right. From your show then, or with having that your first line done for that, you said that was in January, the show.
Yes.
Okay. So how does it work from there? Do people like basically say, I want one of those, and then you get to make one of those for them type thing? Okay.
Yes, and nobody has bought anything really from the collection, which is it's been a whole bunch of like more custom work, and I'm like, there's a collection.
Then right.
Hey, can we order from this? But no, it was very much like the show was very much putting myself on the map, and now people know that there's like a local furniture maker that they can
Mm-hmm.
just. A woman FaceTimed me, and I honestly didn't understand how she even got my like no
Right,
idea,
right.
just. And she was asking for like a media console. I'm like, hey, like I have one in the collection. She's like, no, 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 no. I want this, da, 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 whatever. I'm like, okay, okay,
Okay.
yeah, cool. Yeah, sure, yeah. Whatever you want.
Exactly. Do you think you'll get to a place like where you can do basically like what you said you did with your carved continent, which is to be like, no, there is no customizations, there is no commissions. It's like these are the this is what I have available. Do you
Yeah,
think you
I
like we'll
feel
get to that
like
point?
yeah, definitely I will see woodworkers are not content creators. Like
Yeah.
that's not what I do. I I don't want to be posting my lumber batch like but I realize that marketing and woodworking is so important. Like you
Yeah.
have to be a marketer in order to get sales for like
Yeah.
what you're wanting to
Yeah.
sell. And so I will have to eventually get back on Instagram. It's been a few
Mm-hmm.
months. Get back on there and kind of push my work so people can start buying this
Mm-hmm.
collection because I do want to see the collection in people's homes. It's my opinion, it's a very beautiful collection. So
Mm-hmm. Did you do like pieces for every room or just like a set for like one room? Like how'd you work your collection out?
no, I did pieces for every room. So I
Oh
have
wow.
like a side table, I have coffee table, hallway table, and stools, and a bench. And that was fun. Doing the
Mm-hmm.
stools was my first time doing a stool. And like really like a really nice piece of seating.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very, very proud of it. And so if anyone's watching and listening, if you can order from
Like go order from the collection.
order from the collection.
Yes.
I would love to make more stools. Like
Yeah, I've never like I've done stools where I carved the seat, but I like just like ordered or bought the like a metal base for it, based off
mm,
my design. So technically, I've never made a chair. I've only ever made like case goods or tables or that kind of thing. So that is on my list for this year to at least get it like 75% of the way done. And that's my like one of my larger walnut logs. I want to do a
mm.
carved like lounge chair out of it.
Ooh,
So yeah, it's gonna
yes.
be like and textured and all kinds of, it's getting crazier by the minute before I actually get to getting it like cut. But
I'm excited to see it. The only advice I have is just don't rush your seating.
Yeah.
I feel like I was working on the stool design for like 2 years. Like, don't rush it, because if you rush it, then it's gonna not be perfect. So take your time.
Yeah. It's been percolating in my head probably for at least 3 years.
Okay.
Like, it's one of those, like, I picked these walnut logs out of this giant pile.
Wow. Yeah.
To be like, no, that right there is gonna be
That's
like
the chair.
That's the chair.
Yeah.
And I've started at least working on, like, I have like a miniature, like a smaller log that I've tried, I've started anyways on kind of working my way through my sketches to see like what's gonna be in the end, what will work the best. Which will also be the first time I've ever done a scaled model. So that's exciting in its own right. Yeah.
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 That's right.
Do you do scaled models for your
pieces? I
Yeah.
used to when I was in school. Ever since I was out of school, I just
can't do it.
I didn't have to do it, so I didn't do it.
I get it.
It's all up here.
Yeah. I've never, when I did do schooling for woodworking, it wasn't ever like, we didn't have to do scaled models. So I've never done that. I'm assuming when I go for my master's that I'm probably going to have to do that for my stuff. But I think it's all going to be, it's like 3D design, a lot of it. So I'm guessing I'll probably get to like 3D print my
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah, it will be fun and it will line up well. Like I'm going to be getting a CNC. So
okay,
all like mesh right nice together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone's getting a CNC. Like, maybe I should too.
Well, yeah, I just realized, like, if I want to really turn this into a business and like be able to make some money, I need to up like production level game.
Yeah.
Like power carving is not going away, but maybe some of the upfront work that takes a lot of time to, like squaring material or like getting, legs cut out or any of that kind of stuff. I can really foresee having advantage of being able to just kind of hit start and let it work while I do like, the power carving work in addition to that. Yeah.
Yep. Maybe I can get my community shop to, let me write a petition.
Yeah. No, I think they totally would. Yeah.
Maybe.
Obviously, like they're not cheap, unfortunately. No. But I'm also excited. I kind of thought in my head, wow, what if I, start doing some carved wall pieces, which I've done a few, but I want to kind of do a few more of those. And being able to have like your original large piece and then like 3D scan it and have the CNC cut out like the what are they called? Like painters do it all the time where they have the original and then they have the, what are they called?
A print.
Yeah. It starts with an R, but I can't think what the word is. It's gonna drive me nuts. But you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Like a shrunken down version of like the large hand carved
a replica
piece. There we go.
Got you. Yes, a
that
replica.
Word.
Yeah.
But things like that where then you could like do art markets and stuff a little bit easier. Versus hand carving all of that stuff.
That's definitely something I've been thinking about too, like just figuring out how to have stable income because like custom work does bring in, it's custom work, it's custom money. So
right.
but that's not all the time. So like figuring out how to create that stable income as a woodworker, as a one-woman shop, is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really why I've gone that route, or am going to be going that route, is just to like, I'm always looking at ways to diversify the income stream. So, I mean, because you can even talk about, you can get into like, people make money just by selling the 3D models that can be uploaded into other people's CNCs. You know, there's just all kinds of potential out there, I guess.
CNC pays for itself, honestly.
Yeah.
It really does. There's so much things that you can do with it, even if you had like a flattening service.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be for too long, because I know that could get tedious. But...
No, that's exactly what I plan to start with, is just like offering a flattening service, because in my area, there's plenty of like out in the country sawmills type places. And a lot of times, yes, like you can get, like I buy wood there and it's almost flat. You know what I mean? Like it's like really close. It's kiln dried. Yes, they planed it, but did they like joint it and then plane it? No. So there's still gonna be like, there's still gonna be some wave to it. There's still gonna be something there. And your average like home hobbyist, if they don't have all of the equipment to really flatten it, then they're like sanding it flat, and who wants to do that? So nobody. Exactly. So I'm like, I figured like that's a good opportunity, and like, you know, I can give my name to the local sawmills and they can recommend like, hey, if you want this flattened, just that's right. I got to make money somehow in grad school. Like, I don't want to be broke the whole time.
Oh, no. Especially not the whole time.
Yes.
Maybe some of the time, but not
that's right. That's right. Do you get to work at all? I think, was it your mom's like an interior designer, right?
Yeah, she's studying interior design. Okay. Yes.
Are you going to like get to provide any pieces for her clients? Like, I feel like that's a built-in, I still feel like that's a disadvantage to the rest of us, that that your mom is an interior designer. Just saying.
You know, there's talks. There's sometimes like the whole collection is here in my house, mainly because she's forced me to keep it here. You know, that's goes in with being a mom. But you know, I'm sure that we'll be able to collab, like hopefully soon, because I have some ideas for her, but you know, she's always busy. Like, I'm your daughter, you don't have time, like talk a little bit.
I'm gonna speak as a mom and be like, no, we don't got time. Like, y'all are a time suck. Like, I don't know if you realize that or not.
I just want to talk. Like, no, but hopefully soon, like we'll be able to collab. If she recommends me, I'm sure. I think she has recommended me to her clients, but her clients are sometimes just.
I get it.
They ask for a lot, and I don't have a lot to offer, so. You know, I'm so sorry. I could recommend someone else to you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, well, and that falls into that whole like the commissions thing, right? And, and I'll just say, like, bless you for having patience for even taking commission work, because yeah.
Oh yeah. Love my clients though. I do.
Do you have ones that are like repeat clients that are coming to you back to you for other pieces?
I have some repeats, and then some people might like email me for something and it might not be in their budget, and they tell me that they'll come back, and they actually do. Like, that's cool. I'm
cool.
Like, hey, like, I remember you from 2020. You actually came back. Okay. All right, cool. Like, I love that. I love that, because, you know, they really want to support, and they kind of just keep their word and say, like, I'll be back. Like, don't worry. Like, I'll be back. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And it's also cool that, like, you're letting them say, I can't afford you, rather than being like, okay, I'll just come down on my price.
Oh yeah, I've had to
Yeah.
learn that the hard way. Because I used to be like, wanting to everyone can I want everyone to
Mhm.
be able to afford this, but sometimes like I have to put my self-worth first because if I
Mhm.
don't, then I'm gonna be broke. So
Yep.
and it's good that the clients understand, like,
Yeah.
they're not trying to haggle me. They used to back in the day when I first started, a lot of people were haggling me for prices or trying to negotiate.
Mhm.
And I would definitely fold. I would fold, but now I'm not folding. Like I don't fold. The price is
Mhm.
the price, and that is that on that.
Yes. Do you think maybe like because of like some of the recent well-deserved recognition that you've received, do you think that helps? Like do you think that gets your name out there where they can be like, oh, like I don't know, like it gives you credibility, maybe is the word I'm
Uh,
looking for.
sometimes people will be like, hey, like I saw you in this or
Yeah.
whatever. And then sometimes people just, I saw you on Instagram. Can you make this?
You're
Like,
right, right.
so sometimes it really depends. Yeah, just on where they found
Mhm.
me. But I feel like with my pricing, I'm always fair. I always give folks like the option, especially with wood choices, because that will definitely increase or
Mhm.
decrease the price. And I let them know, like, hey, like you could still afford this, but it would be in a different material. If you're okay with
Mhm.
that, we can go through. And sometimes they are, and sometimes they'll be like, you know what, I'll wait, save up, and I'll come back. And I appreciate that. No one's
Yeah.
haggling me anymore.
That's awesome. That really is awesome. Um, I guess I'm kind of at the same place. Like to be honest, I really don't take much commission work anymore
Mm,
unless it's going to be like, I take it if it's something that I do in the sense of like, if it's going to be a sculpted table or whatever, like,
mm,
yes, I will take that commission work because you saw my others, you know what I do.
mhm.
Like, as long as you're giving me a lot of freedom when it
Yeah.
comes to design. But like I did for a while have people just be like, oh, you're a woodworker, so can you make me this or this or this or this or this,
Mhm.
things that do not excite me to build. And so I eventually just learned to start pricing it as the fact that I don't like to do these. So I'm gonna price it like, if
Yep.
you're gonna make me do this or you
It's
really want
yeah,
it,
you're gonna
like,
pay me well to do
yes,
something I don't want to do.
yes.
Yeah. It's always like I used to have a problem saying no, like because I felt like I had to say yes because I'm a new business. If I say
Mm-hmm.
no, then they're gonna tell their friends that she said no,
Right,
so don't even
right,
ask.
right.
But I realized like the people who really understand what you do and like how passionate you are
Right.
about what you do, like they'll pay.
Yeah, yeah,
They will.
absolutely. Yeah, they will. And I've also learned this. I don't know if you've had this happen or you did in the early days of just like I dread these words that come across my screen. I found this on Etsy and I'm wondering if you can make the same thing. And I have learned to now just be like, just buy it from Etsy because it will be cheaper than anything I can make you. Like,
Literally, yeah, that's happened to me. Sometimes though, sometimes like people will say like, hey, like I have this idea, and
yes,
they'll show me, and they'll be like, I want it to look like this. And like that's like, okay, now that's my
right,
own design. Like I don't want to
right,
be, first of all, copying someone else.
correct. Yep.
Um, but also, yeah, like if you saw it on Etsy, if you saw
Just
it in
buy it.
IKEA,
Yeah.
just get it. Because
Yes.
honestly, like I'm gonna be charging you like 6 times that.
Right.
Like this person asked me too, like to make them something, and they're like, yeah, like I saw it here, but the quality, I'm like, okay, is it really about the quality, or like do you think you can get it cheaper from me?
Right.
Because you won't. Like I'm telling you now, like you won't.
Correct.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe it's a buildup in confidence on your end too of the standing strong in your prices.
Oh,
now?
certainly,
Yeah.
certainly. I feel like I'm definitely like, I feel like 2021 and this year too, like I've definitely built confidence, not only to like stand my ground, but also to do more challenging work.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like it deals with like the whole imposter syndrome and
Hmm.
like not knowing like if I can do something, but realizing like I have years of experience under my
Right.
belt.
Right.
Why wouldn't I be able to do this?
Right.
Like, it might be a little more challenging, but like that's the only way you build your skill.
Right.
Um, so yeah, imposter syndrome has been a thing, but
Yeah.
every day you overcome.
You do. I mean, yeah, I definitely like I totally still have multiple moments like that. Um I do benefit frequently though from like other people putting their plan, like sharing what they did to make whatever the thing is that I'm trying to make. Like
Mhm.
sometimes that's helpful. Like it at least gets me past the hump of the imposter syndrome to be like,
Yeah.
oh, that's how they approached it. Okay, I got it. Like I know what they like, I know the steps. I think sometimes that's where I get like hung up is like, what do I need to do first to like get the end result I'm
Oh,
looking for?
yeah. I can even say like even just with my collection, and like saying like, hey, like I'm gonna be doing a collection. The amount of like comments I got from people saying that's gonna be really hard. Are you sure you want to do that? And I realized it's like, okay, not you projecting.
Right.
Like, no, why are we doing that?
Right. Right.
And I realized like a lot of the times it was men that were saying this to me, and I realized it's because that they didn't succeed in whatever
Yeah.
it is that they
Yeah.
wanted to do. And so seeing someone else who is a woman doing this, it's like, oh, okay, no, you're gonna fail because I failed. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, like we're all our own people. I
Mm-hmm.
think I'll be okay.
Yeah.
No need to project, if it
No,
works, it works. And if it
that's
doesn't,
right.
then you learn something. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
definitely like I would really love to do a collection. And again, it's one of those things. It's like I have a whole bedroom suite in my head. I know exactly like what I want to make.
Mhm.
Um Currently I do know part of the problem is just like time. I don't have it. I have
Yeah.
a long list of projects that has to get done, and doing them like just weekends right now is about killing me because I'm like I need to get through these things way faster.
Yep. I hear you.
Plus my like mind kicks in. I'm like I'm so bored of this thing. I've worked on it for like 3 weekends. I'm ready to move on to something
Ready to
else.
be done. I hear
Yes.
you. I hear you. Looking at
You
this desk over here, like, yeah, it needs to, I need to see you leave my house.
yes. Yes. Like well, we're done. Like it's not me, it's you. We need to move on. That's this relationship. Yes.
I need to let go.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Where do you think you're gonna take like what is on your horizon? I'm definitely curious, especially on the power carving horizon. Like what do you I know you taught at least one virtual class. Are you
I did,
continuing
and
to teach?
I was supposed to do another one. But because, COVID is it's still COVID, but we're trying to get back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
The online courses are not onlining anymore.
Right, right.
um, but I do want to teach power carving at my community center. I
Mm-hmm.
was supposed to do like a woodworking 101, but it's just so difficult to organize. Like, and
It is.
like
Yeah.
you want to teach, you're like, yeah, like I have the skills, I can teach, like just
Right,
get people
right,
together in a room, teach them. It's
right.
not that easy. Like
It
it's
isn't.
not that
No.
easy. You have to make a whole curriculum and bring it
Uh-huh.
to the board. And I'm like, bruv, like I so I'm waiting this other guy who's also a woodshop exec at my community center. We're supposed to do this together, but we cannot coordinate. Like it's just he's doing something, I'm doing something. I'm at the shop,
Yeah.
he's not there. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, listen, we need to have a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully we could get something so that I can start teaching the classes because people want to learn. People want to learn the skill.
Yeah. I've definitely seen it, especially take off with women. I've noticed, at least through social media, like a lot more women are trying power carving. So I'm with you though. Like I've got like an online class that's there for like people to purchase and go through at their own pace. And it's marketing is not my forte.
Telling you, marketing. Oh my gosh.
I know, like, beyond being able to pay myself a living wage, like I'm still going to be my first hire for my company. Beyond that, like the next thing I'm hiring is somebody for like marketing, like social media, that and a tax person. Like those are like my top two.
Yes, an accountant
Yeah.
and a content creator. That is 1 and 2. We can be a dream team.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm telling you.
Yes. Like just leave me alone to like make stuff. Like
that's it. That's all I want to do. You handle this, I'll send you photos. You handle this, I'll send you receipts. Like
that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Are you at a point like this is sustaining you full time type thing?
I'm trying to make it work. Trying to make it work. I live in Toronto. It's one of the most expensive cities in the world.
You know, as somebody who has looked about how to move from the US to Toronto a lot recently, like,
Katie, don't do it. Not right now.
I'm like, 1 bedroom, 1 bath houses. How much money?
Like $8 million. Like it's you can get a garage for $8 million. Like it's too much. But once you like someone who's lived here like their whole life, and I've lived in the same house my whole life, it's very much like you'll figure it out. Like you'll figure out how to, get the income you need to sustain yourself. Somehow it will all work out. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's a little Toronto secret, but somehow like we make it work because the prices are not going down.
They are not.
But
now we're to the point of like just in the middle of nowhere. I don't care if my neighbor is a moose. Like I just need like just enough land to like a tiny house that's like,
the moose is as close as you'll get to Canada. Like that is
it might be Costa Rica at this point. We're
no, I've looked into it. I've looked into moving to Jamaica. I'm like, can I do a woodworking business like in the country? Like I probably
there's a couple that I know. If you want the hookup, I'll give you the hookup.
Send the
link. And they're both women of color run businesses. So I'll give you
amazing. I need to talk to somebody. I need to. But yeah, definitely trying to sustain myself. Like I do this full time. And I realized like I need to have 2 big projects a month in order to remain alive. So yeah.
And that's what you're making happen.
Yes. Yeah. Just about. We're at like 1.5 right now.
Okay.
It's all right.
So you're just like not quite keeping alive, just
I'm waiting for the big break. Like I know there's gonna be like one project and I'll be set. Like I'll be set. Yeah. I'm manifesting it.
It will come. I can feel it. It will come for sure.
Okay. As long as we're both feeling it. Like I feel
yeah. I feel that for you, Daej.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. I'm with you though too. Like I'm trying to manifest all kinds of crazy stuff right now. Like just something. I need that. I'm with you. I'm like I just that one big, like that That one thing.
See, we can trade manifestation. Like I'll manifest for you, you manifest for me.
We're good. Yeah.
We got this. Telling you, we got this.
Okay. So yeah, what is besides aiming for your 2 big projects a month? Do you have any other gallery shows or anything coming up down the line yet?
No, no more shows for now, but I do want to kind of just get more into wall art. Like I have these slabs, and I'm like, I know they're calling my name, and I will work on it eventually. But hopefully soon. I really want to kind of just like have my own stuff, do my own thing, not worry about other people right now. I'm just in my own zone. I feel like I'll be able to do it maybe in the fall. But yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
It is. I mean, I do know that it's like that definitely is a struggle when you're doing like commission work.
Yeah, it's finding time for yourself.
Work done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
yeah, but I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the time. Somehow.
He's determined.
Somehow. Yeah.
Well, awesome. We're pretty much like up against the end of our second chat together.
Wow, that was quick.
I know, it always goes fast. But I want to give you a chance again to let people know like how to find you, find your work, buy from your collection, all that stuff.
I love the emphasis on buy from the collection.
Yes.
You didn't hear it one time, you heard it a third time. Buy
That's
from
right.
the collection. Yes, you can find me on Instagram at Daej Designs, Daej Designs, and my website, www.daejdesigns.com. Where you can buy from the collection.
That's right. Where you can directly, instantaneously buy from the collection.
You can order.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for chatting again. It was fun to catch up and get to hear about all the awesome things happening right now.
Yeah, this was lovely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me back.
All right, so again, that was Daej of Daej Designs, and I will include the links on how you can follow along with her in the show notes for today. I also am including the link to head straight to podcastawards.com and vote for Crafting a Revolution under the category of art. So that will be there. You can find those show notes and links in the description for the episode on your podcast app. If you're watching this on YouTube, check the description box down below. And lastly, you can head on over to freemanfurnishings.com/podcast. Okay. Let's see. Please follow along with the podcast over on Instagram at Crafting a Revolution. No spaces, underscores, any of that. Just all ran together. Crafting a Revolution, just as it sounds. And also follow along with your host over there, myself, Katie Freeman at Freeman Furnishings, and my co-host, Katie Thompson at Women of Woodworking. We would both love to see you over there. All right, we will be back with another episode this week on Friday. And as always, let's go craft a revolution. She, her, and they got something they want to say. Solution for the toxic